Hello everyone, welcome to InfoSky. So in today's video, we are going to learn how to handle forms in React using Formik and validating them using Yup. Okay, so after seeing title only you're getting it, so this only we will learn today. So by the end of this video, you will learn like how to create forms in React using Formik and how to apply validation using Yup, even how to handle form submission properly, that also we'll learn, and even how to show error messages dynamically. Okay, so these are very important, guys. If you're learning for forms handling, then this is very important. Okay, so and this tutorial is, guys, beginners friendly. So even if you're new to React, don't worry. Make sure to watch till the end and subscribe for more coding tutorials. Okay, and one more thing I'll request you. So also drop a in comment like hashtag Formik. So if you're excited to learn. Okay, so that I'm requesting, so guys, do that one thing. Okay, fine. So first we'll see the introduction. So we will learn, guys, like what you will learn. So what is Formic and why to use, what is Yup, and how does it simplify validation, then how to handle form submission using Formic, and how to validate the form dynamically. Okay, and best practice means we'll do some coding also related to that. Okay, so now we'll see the Formik is what, guys. Formik is a popular library for handling forms in React. Okay, so it makes form handling super easy by managing states, validation, and submission. So here, guys, in Formik only, we are everything will be managed by name only. Okay, that is state, validation, submission, everything it will be handled. So if you use this, what will happen, guys? So one thing is it reduces the boilerplate code. Even automatic validation handling will happen. Then improved performance will be there, and easy form submission management will be there. Okay, then suppose if you want to install Formik, this will see, guys, practical also, just I'm telling you. So to install Formik in your React application, you need to use this command, guys, that is install Formik and Yup. So the command will be like npm install Formik and Yup. Yup, we will see it in, I'll tell you that also. Then we are creating a simple form using Formik and handling the form submission and manages the state. Okay, then suppose one example I'll give, guys, for Formik. So you can see, guys, here this Formik we are using to handle the form states. So you can see here const Formik we are using, then here is form use form. Okay, then initial values are there, that is name, email, password. So here we're handling the states, guys. Okay, then on submit values means when we click on submit button, so this will work, guys, that is on submit. Okay, so everything will be managed in use form only. There is no need to declare different states and all. So whatever the name, email, and password we're using, like this only, it will consider as state, guys, and it will work, and it will change, it will update the everything by using these names only. Then you can see it is automatically updates input values. As I told you, whatever the input values are there, that it will be automatically updated. Then handles the form submissions. Okay, so what we will do, guys, first we'll see the form quantity, then we'll go for Yup. So what is Yup and all? Okay, so before that, what we'll do, we'll go code, we'll go in code, guys. So we'll create, see, if you want to develop this, then first you need to set up your Laravel, sorry, React project. Okay, so okay, so you can see it. And suppose if you don't have this Laravel project, then just create, guys, by using a beat you can create, so which is very easy if you use beat. Okay, so already I have created, so I will not show that, guys, because if I show that, it will take again time, right? So I'm requesting you, just go in Google and like type React installation using beat. You will get all the steps and you can follow and you can install. Otherwise you can watch my video, already I have done that video. Okay, now what we will do, guys, as I told you, we need to install the Formik because we are going to use Formik here, right? So to install that, just use npm sorry, guys, npm install Formik Yup. So as I told you, this command we need to use. So I'm installing that. You can see here it is npm install Formik up. Okay, now okay, guys, that's it. Only this much we need to do if you're using Formik. Now what we will do, guys, now we'll create a form with this project. Okay, so for that we need to create one component, right? So I'll go here directly. We'll take one file that is form component like that. Okay, so I'm taking here like form. We keep this as capital. Okay, so form component dot jsx. Okay, suppose if you're using this, if you're using Vite now, that time we need to use dot .jsx, okay, syntax. And if you're using create react app, then that time dot .jsx. So here we have created, guys. Then next what we'll do, guys, we'll create now. It's not taking shortcut. What we will do, guys, now I'll write the code for this. Okay, so for that I need React library. So I'm taking, guys, here, that is import React from React. Okay, so this I want, so I'm importing this. So right now what we are doing is we will create a simple form. Okay, so for that I'm using here, guys, this my arrow function. So here is my form component. Okay, form component, and here is my arrow function. Okay, and after this what we will do is here at the end we will export also, that also will finish now only. So here we are exporting the form as well. So export default form component, which is this. Okay, okay, so this is done, guys. Our arrow function is done. Now we are going to use Formik, right? So for that we need to import the Formik, right? So I'm importing this. So just import the Formik like by using this, guys. It is import Formik, and the name we need to import, that is Formik. Okay, so it is use Formik, from which we're importing from Formik. So use this like Formik. It should be from EFR. Okay, so I have imported these two things. Okay, now what we need to do, guys, see, guys, here we are going to use Formik function. Okay, so for that right now I'll use, guys, name, email and password. Three things I will use, and one button. Okay, so already in mind there will be like I'm going to use these three things, that is name, email, password. Okay, so by considering that only we need to create our Formik function. Okay, so I'm creating that only, guys. So here is my Formik, and here this you need to use, guys, that is use Formik to create Formik function. And the Formik is one hook, guys, as I told, I don't know, but this is one hook, guys, whatever the Formik we're using. Okay, so inside this Formik what will come, so we will first initialize the values. So values is nothing but what, guys, we are taking the states, whatever the state. For example, suppose if you are not using Formik, then we use state like state, use state, set data, data, set data. So we are setting the data and all using state, right? So that only we will do here by using only the names. Okay, so just we need to declare like initial values, and here we need to give whatever the name we are using in our input field, that name we need to take. So I'm going to use name, then I'm going to use email. Okay, so initially I'm keeping empty, guys, that is null, and here is my password. Okay, so three things I'm going to use. Okay, this is done. Then next what I will do, guys, this is about creating the initial values. Like now I have to create the submission also on submit. So this I need to use, that is on submit. On submit, what it will do, it will do other function. Okay, so that I'll take right now like this only, I'll tell you. After that I'll take here. Okay, sorry, here my one function will come. So right now I'll take like this arrow function here also. Okay, so this is done, guys. Next what I have to do, now I have to create a form, right? Okay, so here I'll create a form like form. Okay, so in form, here my on submit function will come. So I'll write on submit, sorry, on submit, and here my function will come. So that function I'll write later, guys. Okay, after writing all the things, I'll tell you that, and then later I'll add that also. Then I'm using div function because I have to declare now input fields also, right? So here my first name will be like name because I'm using name. So whatever the things, because this is in mind, like I'm going to use this one, that is name, email, password. So I'm taking here name. This is my label, and now my input field will come. So type will be text, I'll keep, and here name I'll take like name only. Okay. Then on change function later we'll take, or right now like this. I will write like this. Later we'll see. Otherwise I'll take this later only, I'll tell you how it will be. Okay, so one input field is done. Now I'll take different one more input field, then again one more. So three total I want, right? So this is name, then next is email only, right? Okay, email, then here my email will come name, then next is password. So here is my password, and here same I'll take the password also. Okay, so three fields has been done, guys. Now I have to take button also. So after this what I will do, I'll take here one button, and button name I'll give like submit. And okay, right now I'll keep like this. Later I'll tell you one more thing. Okay, so form submission is done. So one bracket, so I'll check the brackets guys. So here it is done. Okay, I have one more thing I forgot guys. Here I have to take like, because I'm returning this, right? So I have to take a return, and inside return my form will come, right? So here is my form. So first we'll check whether it is working or not. So right now I'll remove this because it is giving error. Okay, so I'll run like npm run dev. So we'll see guys whether it is showing form or no. Okay, so it is showing me the default function, so I have to remove this. So what I'll do, here is my app.jsx, right? So from this I'll remove all the things. And here I can import also, so I'll try to import here. So import form component. Okay, so here I have imported, and here I'll take form component. Okay, now we'll see whether it is visible, where it is. One more time. Where it gone? Okay, I'll disconnect. Okay, we'll run this. Now you can see guys, now I'm getting name, email, password and submit button. Okay, so there is no any css right now I've used, guys. You can see there is no css. Okay, so it is showing like that guys. If you want you can add that also. So right now according to me the concept is important, right? So later we see guys designing and all. Okay, so name is there, email is there, password is there. Okay, so when I submit, the data should submitted or it should show any alert. Okay, so that we need to see. So before that, now all the declaration is done. Okay, but when I click on this submit, it should fetch the values from input, from this three input. Okay, that is, it should fetch the password, email and name, and it should send that all the values to this on submit function, right? So for that, what I have to use here, so for that guys, here I have to take like on change. On change means what? Whenever I change in my input field, that everything should get update in my Formik function is. So for that I am using this handle change with the Formik. So what I have done here, Formik I have used guys because I'm using Formik, and handle change means whenever I change anything in my input field, it should update there in Formik function. Okay, so for that, and here I'm using values guys. So value, this is for what? This is for what means, see, I'm using here Formik values dot name. Okay, so what it will do, values dot name means whatever the value is there, right? That value it will take guys, it will take, and uh, it will give here like that, you can consider. So it will take and it will submit to this Formik function. So to fetch the value from this input field, we are using here values dot name. Okay, so same, because I want this value from all the input fields, right? So same I will do here also and here also. Only this I have to change. Instead of name, here it will be email, and here it will be like password. Here it will be like password. Okay, I think you got right. So why I've used this values to fetch the values from input field, and handle change means whatever that I'm changing, it should get or update this field also. For that it is okay. Fine. So this is done guys, on change everything is done. Now here one more thing I have to do guys, here I have to use here one type is equal to submit. I have to use, don't use here button. If you're using button, it will not work properly. First only I'm telling. So guys, here you need to use button only. Okay, so this is done. Now what I will do, I will fetch the values, and when I click on submit, it should give one alert, right? So for that, in on submit, what I have to do, here first I'll take all the values from my input fields. Then here I'll write one console.log, and in console will write like a form submitted like that. Okay, and here we'll see our value, because right now we're not using backend, right? So in console only we'll see whether it is fetching values or not. And even we'll give here one alert also, like form submitted successfully, like that, form submitted successfully. So one form we are given. Okay, so on submit is there, and here see in form I have not taken anything right now, right? So what I will do here also I have to take on submit. So I'm taking here on submit. When I click on submit, that time it should call Formik dot handle submit function. Okay, so on submit means this case here you can see on submit. Okay, so when I click on the submit button, it will call this function. So indirectly it will call this function, and what it will do, it will take all the values from this input field and it will show in console, and it will give the alert like form submitted successfully. Okay, so now we'll see guys whether it will work or not. Okay, so for that I'm going in my input field. Here I will type like in fiscal type, then here I'll type ipsk@gmail.com, then here I will give password. Okay, now I'll try to submit. We'll see. You can see guys I'm getting the alert, right? And we'll see in console also whether it is fetching the data or not. So first I'll clear these things. Now you can see guys when I click here, you can see guys I'm getting the data. You can see I'm getting email, whatever the email is there, I'm getting name, whatever the name is there, and I'm getting password. So everything is fetching, means I'm able to correctly fetch all the data, means whatever the values are there that I'm getting, consider. Okay, so I'm getting and I'm submitting also. Here there is no database, so I'm showing in console. That's it. Okay, so this like this form will work, guys. That is formic submission will work. Okay, now the most important thing, that is yup, right? So we need to see yup also, yup validation. So if you come here, so you can see guys what is yup, that we will see now. So yup is a JavaScript library for schema validation. Okay, so to do any validation we use this yup, guys. So what if you use yup, what will happen is provides a simple way to define validation rules, even works seamlessly with Formik, and prevents the unnecessary re-renders. Okay, so for that we use this yup. Okay, so adding yup validation. So if you want to add yup validation, the what rules you need to follow. So we need to define the validation schema first. Then in validation schema there should be like yup.object we need to take. For example, there is a name, email, and password. Three input fields are there, right? So for that we need to use this validation schema, guys. You can see here that is yup. It should be name should be string, minimum three letters should be there, and it should be character, and it must require. Required means it should be required only. We cannot submit if it is not there. Email means it should be string, and it should be valid email, guys. Here email is nothing but valid email, and it is also required. And password is it is also string, minimum 6 number it should be. Okay, minimum 6 character, and required, and this is also required. Okay, so ensure valid data before submission. So this all data should be there, means validation is what like this only, it should be there like that it is. Okay, so to display the errors in form, for example this is my form, right? So to display the error for this form, so whatever the yup is there, that we need to define after here, after div we can define that, guys. Okay, so or this inside div we need to define, guys, that. Okay, so to define that, what we need to use, we need to define like Formik.touch.name. This function we need to use, and we can make that color red. It will show the error like in red color, and ensures better UX by showing validation messages. Okay, so this will be there. Okay, first we'll see as this. We'll use the validation schema now. So for that, first we'll define the validation schema. So that also we need to define in my Formik function only. Okay, so here what I'll use, I will use validation. It is taking the validation schema, and here I'll take like yup dot object. So first is what in object, here first is name. So here it should be like yup dot string, means my name should be string, minimum it should be 3 character. So inside this what we will write, like name must be at least 3 character, like that, and it should be required. So for that what we will use, guys, here we'll write like dot required. And when we show the required, that time we need to show this message, that is name is required, like that. Okay, so this is for name. So same what I will do, same I will copy, so because I have to use for email also and for password also. Okay, so here my email will come. So here's little bit that will be different, otherwise everything will be same. And here instead of minimum here we need to use email. It will consider email means what, it should be a valid email. So here I'll remove this invalid email format if it is invalid. Okay, so it will show this error and it is required, and here I'll write like email is required, like that. Email is required. Oh, what is happening? Okay, so email is required. Okay, so this is for email. Then now here is my password. So whatever the initial value is the same I'm taking here, you can see it. Okay, so password also string. Then here I'll take like password, it should be at least a minimum 6 character. Okay, so we cannot take 3, right? Because standard is 6, at least 6 or 8 it should be. So here if he insert less than 6, then I will show this error. Password must be at least 6 character. Okay, and it is required, and here password is required. Sorry, password is required. I will keep p capital, here only capital. So we have declared the schema is now. Okay, so validation schema is done. Now as I told you, we need to declare here also, so it will be inside this, guys, due. So after this I'll take here enter, and here we need to define our error. So the format will be like this, that is Formik dot touched. Okay, touched dot name, and Formik dot errors dot name. Here it will be question mark. Then that error I want to show in a red color, right? So here what I will take like style, and here we'll change the color. So color will be red, guys, here. So I'm taking here red. Okay, and then next here we'll take like Formik. If it is error, it will show like Formik errors dot name. Okay, so it will give error, or if there is an error, it will give error, else it will be like null. Okay, so same I will copy for all the fields, that is for email and even for password also. So here only I have to change now, instead of name there should be email, 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 that's it. Okay, and here password. So here is password, here is also password. So you can see that my error spelling is wrong, or correct, okay, it is correct, errors. Okay, here it is wrong, errors, errors, errors. Okay, so you can see it here we have defined a validation. Errors also means how the error will be. Okay, so this is done, guys. So here, as I told you guys, this formic dot toucher dot name. So here toucher dot name means what, guys? When we're not touching, that time it will not give error. But if you're not touched and if you go for different field, that time it will give us error. Okay. So if you're typing, it will not give anything. If you're not typing, if you're before touching, if you're going anywhere in different field, that time it will give error. Okay. So for that it is touched and error should be red. So we have taken here red, guys. Okay. So for same we have used it for all the things also. Okay. And here, as I told you, the validation schema means here we are giving the condition, that is validation condition, 3 minimum, invalid, a valid email it should be, password minimum 6 character. So like that, guys. Okay, so this is very easy form, guys. You can see I have taken 3 input fields, submit button. Then here is my validation schema. Here I have defined the initial values, and here is my on submit function. Okay, so as I told you, initial value is nothing but the form field values, that whatever the fields are there, that values it will be. And on submit means when I click on the submit button, that time this my on submit function will get trigger. Okay, if I have called here any API, it will store that data in that API. That's it. Okay, now what we will do is, now we'll test our form. You can see here is my form. Okay, so it is telling any error. So an error occurred in the form component. uh, So what is that error that will see? Something is wrong. Yup is not defined. Okay, so it is telling us yup is not defined. So that also I have to import from my libraries. So for that here, see if in React also if there are error, it will tell you just you need to check that all the things in console. Okay, so to import yup, what we have to do, use import, then star there should be, and here as. Okay, use as, then here the yup will come. Sorry, it should be small. Yup will come from yup we're importing. Here my semicolon will come. Okay, so import star as yup. Sorry, it should be from yup. Okay, so here I imported. Now we'll see guys whether my form is visible. Okay, now you can see guys my form is visible. Now what I will do, we'll test the form guys. So I'll not put anything, we'll see the validation will work or not. So I'm clicking on submit. So you can see guys I'm getting the validation error. Name is required. Suppose if I enter only 3w, so it is telling see name must be at least 3 character. So if I put here 3 character, so now the error gone. Okay, if I click, it is telling email required. So I'll like xyz. So it is already telling invalid email format. So it should be at gmail.com. Now you can see guys my that error is also gone. Now I'll take the password. So I'll put only 345. So it is telling password must be at least 6 characters. So whatever I have given, that everything it is telling. You can see guys. So whatever the validations errors, sorry, validation error there, so all the validation it is showing. Okay, so everything is working correct. If I click now on submit, you can see form submitted successfully. And if you see here also, you can see console form submitted, and even I'm getting all the data also. Okay, so you can see guys everything is working now. Even my form is working, my validation is working, my form submit is working, my initial value is working. In short, my Formik function is working guys. Okay, so I hope guys you got how the Formik is working. Okay, so even we have final testing and we have done guys, like we have created form and we have tested everything there. Okay, fine. Multiple use states, so by using this we can avoid the multiple use states. And if you use this Formik now guys, your code will be very clear, and it will reduce lot of code, because already I have done some coding guys. You without using this Formik, that was lot bigger code guys it was. So I'm this is very easy guys using Formik and all. Okay, so I request you, if you're using any backend now, that time go for this only guys, that is Formik. Okay, fine. So I hope guys you got this. Okay, so in next video we will cover different topic guys, so stay tuned to my channel. Okay, and let me know in the comment guys if you want any dynamic form field tutorial, then I'll bring that also. Okay, and guys like, share and subscribe to InfiSky channel. Okay, so for more coding tutorials. And as I told you, in comment box, just comment hashtag Formik, and you can comment your problems also, no problem if you're facing any error. Okay, so thank you so much guys, you have watched it till this video, so till end. So thank you so much for that, and keep supporting guys. Thank you so much guys.